Hello again, Vince here from My Mate Vince, and continuing on with the weird products that some brands make that you wouldn't normally associate. For example, the Lamborghini Phone. Here we have a Porsche designed toaster. Why? Why are Porsche getting involved in the toaster market? Obviously it's to make extra money, but let's face it, do you really need a Porsche toaster? Well, who knows? I do, because I've bought 3 of them. Yes, all faulty from eBay. And interestingly, every time you look these up, they all have the same fault. And that's when you press it down, it doesn't stay down. So I've bought various different ones. That one over there, I think, has already been attempted. The repair's been attempted, and they couldn't get it back together again. So you can see it's all in bits. So obviously I'm not going to be plugging that one in. This one as well has a problem where it doesn't stay down, and I think various other problems as well. I think that little display up there doesn't work. This one is the best out of the 3. With this one, it says it will occasionally work. Now, I've turned it on just now, and no, it's not staying down. I've noticed other problems as well. So it's got this kind of like dust cover here. You're supposed to press this button, and that's supposed to release. It does on this one here. Look, whee, which is quite nice, but this one's not doing it. So that needs looking at. But check it out, if we turn it on down here, you can see that we do have a display here. If I move these around here, these like rotate, you can see it is moving the temperature. If I turn this up here, it's got like a little toaster rack up here. But when I go down here, it's not staying down. So you can see the blue light comes on, but it just comes straight back up again. Now, when I hold it down, this, I mean, maybe high-end toasters have this, but with the toasters that I've always had, there's a wire running around the inside. With this, it's like a halogen heater type thing on both sides. I don't know if it is halogen or what it is, but certainly different. Anyway, look, if I hold it down, 1 second, I'm trying to do it one-handed. So if I hold it down there, the blue light's on, I will start to feel heat coming out of these heaters here, and also a bit of a funny burning smell, but that could be just because it hasn't been used in a while. But as soon as I let go, it comes back up again. So yeah, that's where we are with this one, and also where we are with most of them as well, where they don't stay down. So obviously there's a bit of a design fault. Let's take it apart and see if we can fix them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the good one to begin with. Then hopefully once I get my head around what's what, I'll be able to fix those 2 a lot easier. I presume when they came out, I'll flash up on the screen what they cost. Obviously they're going to be a lot more than the standard toasters that you're going to get down the high street. But yeah, let's see if we can get them working again. Okay, I've checked online. There's not much information about this at all. I think there seems to be reviews from 2008, so we're looking at something which is potentially 14 years old. This is a model number here, TT911. That's kind of nice, after obviously the Porsche 911. And then it's P2, and then this is like a GB one, so Great Britain 02. Now, I looked on YouTube. There's comments all over the internet saying that Porsche toaster doesn't hold down. But to be fair, loads of toasters don't hold down. What I normally do is I turn them upside down and I shake them violently to get all the crumbs out, and normally then that fixes them. But it's very common for them not to hold down. But anyway, I've got 3 of them. We've definitely got faults with the other 2, so they need to come apart. I'm going to take this one apart to begin with because I think this one looks to be the most complete. So hopefully I'll be able to see what goes where. Now, luckily, although there's next to no information about it on YouTube, somebody called, apologies if this is the wrong name, Simon Schuster, he's actually done, it's in German, and I've tried doing the auto translate, it's not really working, but he's done, I wouldn't call it a tear down, but he has basically dismantled the whole thing. So I don't think it's called a tear down, but yet it is a tear down. So luckily, I can kind of like a monkey just copy what he's done. So yeah, although the language barrier is there, he starts off by taking off this part first. Then he gets a little hammer and a block of wood and knocks off this bit here, and bit by bit it starts to uncover more and more. So yeah, let's start with that. Now obviously I'm unplugged from the mains. We've got 240 volts going straight into here. Do not copy what you see in this video. I've never taken this apart before. Take this only as entertainment. What I'm doing may not necessarily be safe. Now, apparently, the heaters in here are quartz heaters. So these tubes in here are quartz heaters. Yeah, right, okay, let's try to get this sorted. And this is the tray here for the crumbs. Whoa, we're out there. So now I'm going to be, which side am I going to be knocking? I'm going to be knocking this side here, aren't I? There we go. I don't know if I have to force it more or not. So look, you can see there's like a little locating thing here. Well, that's definitely free. So why is it not coming loose now? Unless, of course, it's this side. Right, when I look in here, I can see a little one of the metal. It's like a metal round thing from here, and it looks like it should just pop out. I wonder whether it needs to be in ever so slightly in order to pop out. Ah, there we go. Do you know what it was? I just pushed it a little bit too far. So you can see that these here, oh, that's kind of nice. They're like welded on there, aren't they? I suppose this is where the money's gone. So they fit into these little things here. So that's quite obvious when you see it. Right, and according to the mould in here, it looks like it's 905. But I don't know if it came out that early or not. Oh, this has come off as well. Same thing going on here as well. You know, I've got a feeling this is going to be one of those things that's just a heartbreak to put back together. Anyway, right, so this thing wasn't working, was it? And now it is. So, it could have just been that this thing here, maybe, was in the wrong position, or maybe it was just dirt related. So now, I want to get off this end bit here. There we go. Excellent. Right, so a bit of force takes that out there. And, yeah, oh, look here. Oh, right, okay. So now, when we put it down... One second now. When we move this, it goes down. That's the same as moving this. Oh wow, look at that, there's an actual rubber belt in here, look here. Can you see that? What's going on there? I think this is where we need to look in here. But, saying that, there is like a plunger here that goes into what looks like some kind of solenoid-y magnet type thing. That's going to be what keeps this down. I'm just trying to work out what makes this... So it has to open up. How do you actually get this to drop down? Oh, here we go. Right, so it's not, this comes down here, and that has to go into here, and that's not staying in there. Why? Could it be dirt related? There's definitely dirt in around this area here, and it looks like in here there's some crumbs in the very bottom in here as well. I wonder, do crumbs work their way into here? Can you see in here? Wait until it focuses. There. Can you see at the bottom down there? I wonder, is that all it takes? Or is this not energizing properly? Has this failed? So it looks like it's just fed with 2 wires. So I wonder, would we be able to get a reading from it? Because you can see a grey wire up top, purple wire at the bottom. So if it's a coil of wire, surely I should get a resistance reading on it. So let's go between the outer 2 ones here and see if I get anything. Right, well, I don't know if 22,000 ohms is correct or not, but it's certainly given me a reading. So that says to me that the coil itself here is not broken. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a Q-tip here, cotton bud, which will fit nicely just into here. I'm going to get some isopropyl alcohol, and soak the Q-tip and see if I can pick up that junk down there. I wonder if it's as simple as that. Or maybe it's not getting enough. Maybe there's no power going into this. It might be a problem with this board here. Something in here, and maybe there's no power going to this to power that coil. Well, I haven't seen any crumbs come out here, but yet the crumbs have gone from in here. What I'm going to do is, there is a lot of crumbs around the place, which you would expect. I'm going to get some air and blow it round here and try to get all these out. Ah, here we go. Look, I didn't look at that side. Can you see the bottom off that bit there? Sorry, it's so hard to film this. Can you see here? My fingers just got a load of it off. But look, there's still a little bit left here. I reckon that maybe it's charged from the... Would it be the bottom bit that sticks? Or is it all over? But it could be as simple as that, maybe. That just needs cleaning. Now, that would be a nice, easy fix, wouldn't it? So this one apparently, according to the eBay listing, said that it did work occasionally. So I wonder if the others didn't work at all, whether this is completely caked. Because maybe it does it sticking from the bottom rather than the sides. In fact, it probably is going to be the bottom, isn't it? Because if it was coming from the sides, then it's not going to... I'd say it's the bottom that does the sticking. Just got some canned air. So I think I'm going to try it and put it back together and see if now it starts working or not. So they're going to line up with these. That's going to be in there. That's going to line up with this here. So I might have to give that a little turn to get it into its place. There we go. Right, now that works there, and that still goes down. No, that's acting weird now. Right, okay, so that obviously hasn't located properly because it worked initially, but it's not doing anything now. Right, we've got a problem here, unfortunately. The rubber belt's come away. So you can see when I turn it now, the rubber belt's no longer doing anything up here. Oh, that's really annoying that that's come off. Right, I'm going to try to hold this here and turn it and see if it starts pulling it up. Do you know what? This is probably going to put the timing off everything completely out now. I've got to be careful because that's how this was originally. Really, I need that belt to be on here like it is now. Right, there's little clips here. Here we go. So I'd like to tell you that I took this apart and it all made sense, but that's not the case. I probably looked at this for a good 45 minutes or so and it's just not making any sense. I'm worried about the timing of it, you see, because when you put down the toaster rack, it doesn't just go down. Other things happen. The side bits come out to meet the toast, and also they have to go down a long way in order to engage that metal part that goes into that solenoid magnet thing. So unfortunately, once it kind of all springs out at you, you're not really sure the timing to get it back into position. Also, we've got to time the lid at the top that opens and closes. So there's a lot going on here, because you can do the lid individually, but also when you go to put the toast down, the lid will automatically open, I presume as a safety feature, so it's not all encased and getting hotter and hotter. So rather than you having to watch me struggle for ages, let's just skip forward about 45 minutes or so, when I realised the best thing to do is take apart another one, because then I can make sure that this one that is now in bits can look like the other one, and that way then hopefully it will make more sense in putting this one back together. What I'm thinking is, yes, this has to be in a certain way, but I don't know what that way is. So rather than wasting ages trying to work out what's going on, because I can see a little arrow here, so maybe that arrow means something, why don't I just take apart another one and then I can copy that one here, and then at least we can see if this one is now going to work now that we've cleaned up this little solenoidy magnet thing down here. So on this one here, it's definitely going down, and also this is working here. So whilst we're dismantling this second one, let's give a shout out to those beautiful viewers known as the MMV Massive, and they consist of kitsdigital.com, Kip Hakes, Max Rokotansky, Having Fun Repairs, Ellensburg Amplifier Repair and Service, Will Michaelis, Chris Seal, Felipe at MrKeebs.com, King Kurd from Lowbook Auto Sales, DJVG, Robert from Timsey's Auto Air, Albert at www.faroutsounds.co.uk, Stuart Park, Ellis Garbett, Pigsy, the My Mate Vince fan club, and Braden Butts from Connecticut. Heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you. So now, there we go. Once you know how to do it, it does actually come off quite easy. Look at all that there, this one's absolutely caked. Oh, it's all cracked. Look here. We've got cracks going on here. And here, look at all that. Maybe that's why it was harder to take off. Oh, actually, do you know what? To be fair, it did say there was a crack in the listing. Right. Well, if I can't get this one working, then maybe I can use it as spares to fix one of the others. Looks like we've got a load of fingerprints down here. In fact, we definitely have fingerprints here. So I presume this got broken when it was trying to be taken apart last time. Right, this is really annoying because it's come apart here. So I'm not going to get this out in one piece, which means I'm not going to know how it all lines up. Ah, now that's interesting. Look at that, that's caught in there. Is that supposed to be caught in there? No, that's not going to be able... Oh, that's how that bit moves up and down. Right, okay. Whoa, look at that. This is an absolute mess in here. Right, well, okay, that makes more sense now. So that bit has to be inside here. Yeah, see, look at that now. I've just taken off that plunger that goes in, and look at all the dirt on there. Look at it. In fact, you know what it is? It's iron filings. Because it feels like it's magnetic. I think it's like metal dust. I bet you that's what's failing on these machines. That wear's happening when this is dropping in and out. Wear maybe on this inside bit. This bit here. And it's dropping to the bottom and causing that to fail. You know what? I think this one's really beyond repair with all the broken plastic and stuff in it. I don't know if I'm going to take that one any further. I'm just going to hoover up all these crumbs. Okay, so now, what have we got here? That's over that side on this one. So maybe the thing I was doing wrong was that I wasn't gripping this onto that other part. So now, somehow, I've got to get that tiny little catch here, this thing here, onto the rubber. I don't know how that's going to work. Oh, that's what this little hole here is for. It's going to be impossible to see because it's black on black. But if you have a look, this is the belt here, there, and that's the actual plastic. So if I push it in fully home, then I should be able to line that up. So let's just get this into position. There we go. There we go. That's slotted in there now. Right, let's see if it's going to work. Right, so that's working. Yes, excellent. Right. Brilliant, it's working. Now, can I turn it on safely here I can, because that's just plastic there. That goes there. I can worry about that side in a minute. So really, I can plug this in now and see if it stays down now that we've cleaned it up there. Let's give ourselves some more slack underneath here. Right, obviously I'm keeping my hands well clear from it still. I'm only going to be looking at it from this side, which is back together anyway. Right, here goes. Alright, I'm plugged in. Now, let's turn it on. And let's see. There you go. It's staying down. I know you can't see it. It's staying down there. Oh, and the countdown's on. Right, let's cancel it. Fantastic. Now, let's close it. And can I move this? No. So open that up. Let's try it again. Yeah, there you go. So what's happening is there's nothing really wrong with these machines, I don't think, because if you look online, everybody says it's not staying down. The reason it's not staying down is from that little plunger with the magnetic dust on the bottom of it. That's what I'm thinking. The metal dust on the bottom is stopping it from making a contact with the bottom bit there. It could be crumbs and stuff. There was crumbs in this one at the bottom, but then when I actually looked at the bottom of the plunger bit, then it looked more black, didn't it? So I think that's just metal dust from where it's just doing that all the time. That's what I think. Let's try it again. Oh, I've turned it off, sorry. Yeah, there you go. Excellent. Right, I'm going to unplug it. I'm going to put this one back together. And I think this one just needs to be cleaned, and then I think this is going to be okay. Right. The problem is the one that's been taken apart completely. I think I'm still going to struggle with that, but I suppose it depends on how much it's been taken apart. If it's just this side, I might be able to manage, but if the whole thing's been taken apart, I think I'm going to struggle. Anyway, let's see if we can work out what's going on here. So it looks like we've got a little round thing here. I presume that must plug into this bit here. And then, hopefully this side will just be working. Oh, actually, look, you place this in there and then you can move it up and down. So right now that seems to be at the bottom, so hopefully that will locate in here. Ah, no, I need to put the metal bits on first, don't I? So with these, I'm just locating these bits into these bits here. And then sliding it back that way. That's annoying. Right, it pushed it up, but it's obviously not located because it hasn't gone down. So I have to take this out again. Oh, you do it from underneath. Look. I'm really sorry, this is just impossible to film. But look, can you see here? the white thing here, so you just need to line up the male part into that female white part there. There we go. I can see that that is in place. Fantastic. Right, there we go. It is back together. I just need to give it a clean up. I just want to make sure that it is actually working. So to be fair, to get it apart, you don't actually need any screwdrivers to be able to get to this bit here to clean it. So put it on there and put it down. Sorry, put it on there, that was off. Put it down and you can see now it's staying down. And I can already feel the heat being built up. But we can toast some bread at the end of it. Right, I'm going to put a wet wipe over it, clean it up, and then we can start trying to fix the... let's try to fix the one where they dismantled it, because the one that I've just taken apart to get this one working, that's got a lot of cracks and stuff on. So let's see what the state of play is with the other one, because that might have an actual fault rather than just the pressing down issue. But it did say that the problem was that it didn't press down, but then they tried to fix it by taking it apart and they couldn't get it back together again. Right, so I'll just do a little voiceover as I'm scrubbing this first toaster here to make it look nice and immaculate again. So when it comes to the cracked toaster, I'm not even going to attempt to repair that one because it's got cracks all over it. You can't buy the part to fix it. You'd have to buy another toaster in order to fix that one, so it might as well be just used for spares. Of course you could glue the cracks. It's still going to look horrible though, because that plastic part is on display when you have the lid, the dust lid closed, that is on display. And also it's cracked on the other side in numerous places as well, and I wouldn't feel safe having that in a kitchen when it's used by all different members of the family, young and old. Kitchen and bathroom are the most dangerous rooms for electric items, so it wouldn't be good. So I don't think it would be good having that there. The whole point of this toaster here is the way it looks, and if it's got a massive crack through it, it kind of makes it worthless anyway. But it's not just that. For me, it's the safety aspect. Even if you were to glue it up, how strong is it going to be? So the one with the cracked one is not going to be repaired, although it could be repaired, because the problem with it again is the plunger isn't staying down, again through crumbs and metal dust. So when it comes to the one that I bought from eBay that was in bits, it is it's just the same problem as what you've seen here. So at the end of this video, what you're going to see is 2 toasters working out of 3. But what I've done is I've kind of taken the best bits out of 2 of them to put together, because there was a few kind of bits that were broken on the one that the owner took apart to try and repair. So yeah, that is it. There's not really any point in showing you it, because you're not going to see anything different than you've seen before. But what I will do is I really want to show you this bit here, because if you're trying to do this job yourself, the biggest challenge is trying to get everything lined up. So I just want to show you this little bit here, because it's actually really easy when you know. But it's awkward when you don't know, and it took me quite a while to work this one out. I think I got lucky on the first one, but on the second one I wasn't so lucky, so it took quite a few attempts to actually get it back together. Because one of the times when I put it back together, as soon as I turned it on, the quartz elements, the heating elements were just on the whole time, even without putting the plunger down. And it's because you have to have the switches in a certain orientation. So that's what I'm going to show you now, and then I can show you the very end of the video with the 2 toasters working perfectly. Okay, so I'm ready to put the side on now. This thing has to be able to move, and it has to be where the arrow is in the left hand side. This thing has to be able to move, and it has to be up top like that. Over to the left hand side. Right, so now all the way to the right, all the way to the left. That has now loaded it, so we should be able to just pop this on. So you need to make sure to remember to put this little dust cover on here. And now This should just go straight in without causing any hassle. There you go. How nice was that? Now, I've had to give this a little bit more clearance because of all the damage here. It needs to be able to clear that. So you see that little bolt there, you have to undo that and then you can lift it in and out. So you have to do it on that side and also in this side here as well. Right, so that's there now. So let's see now, is this bit here going to work? Ah, now I shouldn't have done that. I should get away with that. I've got to do this little pulley belt here first. If you're having problems, you can always just move it down just a tiny little bit with this thing here. And then that will allow, there we go, that will allow you to kind of push it into place. Right, let's see now, is it going to do what it needs to do? So there, yes, press that and it will go down. And now if we do this, there we go, you can see. That is working. Right, now we can leave that bit on there. Now we have to put the sides on before we put the ends on here. If we put the end on, we're not going to get the sides on. So let's do that now. So there we go. Hopefully then, if you're doing this yourself, if you follow those little arrows and put the switches and stuff in the correct place and load it up, like you've seen in the video there, it should slot back in nice and easy. Now ignore the fact that this toaster had all the cracks in it. At this moment in time in the video, I did think I was going to fix all 3 of them. But after looking at the state of the cracks, I've decided against it. Even though what you've just seen, they are glued up, they haven't got any real strength to them. So yeah, now let me skip to the end of the video where I just show you 2 of them working. We are finished. I've got myself some nice uncut bread that I've just cut into nice thick chunks. Obviously, has to be white if it's toasted. Not the healthiest for you, but you can't beat a bit of white bread toasted with just a little bit of butter. So out of the 3 of them, this one here is not going to be working because of the way the plastic's all cracked and stuff. I wouldn't be happy using that one there because obviously you've got mains voltage going into it. Toasters are used by all different members of the family, so I think that would be best just to be used as spares, but it would be able to be fixed if you've got two new plastic bits for the, well, 1 big new plastic bit for the top there. Realistically, if you were to try to find spares off that, it'd be cheaper just to buy a faulty toaster. Anyway, here we have them. They've come up really, really clean. This one more so than this one, but check out how good I got the shut line on that there. Look at that. That really is good. That one's not so good, but they both work. So check this out. Press the button there, opens up, and press this button here, opens up. One annoying thing about them is the rattle. Because of this grill here, I would have thought that more premium products would have had less rattle because it just makes it feel cheaper, even though the casing and everything is lovely. So if we were just to tap this here, you can see now it comes to life. I don't know what temperature to set it at. I think I'm just going to do 1 in each to begin with. Let's leave that at 3.5. Let's turn this one on here and let's put this one to, let's try this one 2.5 and let's see the difference. So load it up there and here, let's put it down. I'm trying to do this one-handed. There you go, that's on, and there we go, that's on. And you can see now it's counting down. So this is counting down from 2. I presume this is going to be less, yes, because we have it at a lesser temperature. So I'm thinking the quartz heater will just heat up fully. But the thing that makes it more burnt or less burnt is the amount of time you leave it on there for. And the higher the setting, like 3.5 or 2.5, so if it was at 6, maybe it'd be on for maybe 4 minutes. And if it was at 1, maybe it would only be on for like 1 minute or something like that. So yeah, okay, I'm just going to fast forward through this until we, well actually, let me show you the inside there. You can see now, oh, hold on, condensation. Don't damage my camera. And that one there. So personally, I've never had a quartz toaster before. I've only ever had the one with the heating, the filament wire going round. So I wonder, are these safer then? You know, like if somebody would, I know you should never obviously put anything metal near the toaster when it's on, but you know, if somebody was trying to get out a piece of bread, I wonder now with the quartz element whether or not it's safer. If that was to be touched, obviously you would burn your hand off, but if it was touched with a bit of metal, would it still short out? If you could put that into the comments down below, just out of curiosity. Right, okay, I think I showed you this earlier anyway, but look, we have a little dust crumb tray down there. Overall, what do I like the look of it? Well, I like the finish of it. The brushed aluminium is lovely, and considering these are now possibly 14 years old, they look absolutely amazing. The thing is, me personally, when I put this up where my normal toaster is kept, it looks a bit big and bulky, so maybe if you had a good bachelor pad with high ceilings and nice high kitchen cabinets and stuff, maybe it would look good. But in my opinion, they're a little bit too much on the big side. So I'll see what my wife thinks, but I'm not sure whether these will be, or one of them will be replacing my toaster or not. Here we go, 4 seconds left. I wonder, is it going to be nicely done? Yay, here we go. Well, there you have it. That, that does look good. Right, let's see what this one's going to look like, because this was on at 3.5. Ah, yes. Check that out. Well, to me, there's not a huge amount of difference between 2.5 and 3.5. Let's just put them back. Oh, well, actually, there is. There is. I think I'd go for the 3.5. Ah, I'm going to get some butter on that right away, so I'm going to finish up the video now and start nibbling on that because I haven't had my lunch today. If you've got one of these or find one that's faulty, this is what I think. I think the plunger gets metal dust and crumbs and stuff in there and stops it connecting at the bottom. The other thing that I could see is, you know that pulley, the belt? I reckon if that got ever so slightly stretched, it's not going to allow the plunger to go fully down, because the plunger has to go all the way down inside there before it will stick on. And if it doesn't, if it's a couple of millimeters short, I don't think it's going to work. So maybe if the belt stretches, that's also going to be a problem. Whether or not you can get replacement belts or not, I do not know. I suppose you could try boiling them in a pan of water for maybe 8 minutes or 10 minutes to see if that would shrink it back to the original size. But these are probably getting to the age now where the belts are probably going to start expanding and slipping soon. Well, not slipping, but expanding, so it's not putting it right the way down. It's not going to slip because it's toothed. That's what I think anyway, but in this instance here, all three of them, the problem was to do with the plunger and dirt on the bottom of the plunger. So that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a massive thumbs up, and hopefully I'll be able to do more of these funny branded products soon. Brands that you don't expect to be associated with a product, like for example a Porsche design toaster or a Lamborghini design phone. So yeah, take care everyone. See you soon.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things.